Hello everyone, this is Ricardo Franco and today we are going to talk about using the present perfect with questions using ever. Okay, well, as a reminder, the present perfect is formulated using the subject plus the verb to have plus the past participle of a verb. The past participle of a verb. Okay, let me write that down correctly. Past participle. So, for example, I have studied she has been, okay? So that's just a reminder. But now, what does this have to do with the word ever? Well, this is the important part of this video, is that the word ever will be used for yes-no questions about past events. Well, that's a little interesting. How do I formulate this, this sort of question? Well, we're going to use the present perfect. Okay? So before I actually show you the structure, let me show you an example. Suppose we have our subject you, and we're going to ask about visit Florida. How do I ask about that? Using ever. Well, we're going to start off with our auxiliary verb for the present perfect, which is to have. So we continue with our subject, you. Now this is because we're using it in a question form. So we have to invert the subject and the verb to have to be inverted because it's a question. Okay? So we're going to have our auxiliary verb to have, our subject you, and now here is where we use ever. And then the rest of the phrase, which is the verb to visit, And this is going to be in the past participle. Okay? And then the rest of the phrase, which is Florida. Okay, so let's write it out. And remember that it's a question, okay? So let's write out this whole thing. Have you ever, okay? What is the past participle of visit? Is visited. Have you ever visited Florida? Question. Not so bad. Once you get the structure down, this is really, really, really simple. Let's use another example. Let's say, let's use the name, oh, I don't know. Kelly. So Kelly's going to be our subject. And we're going to use the verb try. Try. To ask for help. Okay? Pause the video and see if you can ask this question using ever. Welcome back. Were you able to do it? So we start off with the verb to have. Now, we have to conjugate the verb to have according to our subject, which is Kelly. Kelly is third person, singular, pertaining to she, right? So it's has, our subject. And then we have ever. Has Kelly ever tried in the past participle, which is tried. Remember to turn the Y into I. And then the rest of the phrase. Has Kelly ever tried to ask for help? It's not so bad. So how do I answer these questions? How to answer? It's very simple to answer. Just like any yes or no question, we have yes for positive. Yes. Our subject. And the verb to have. Or no. Our subject. Our verb to have. And the negation. So Remember that for the negation we use not. Okay? So this means that we have, as a result, yes, I have, yes, you have, yes, we have, and yes, they have. Okay? Notice how there is no contraction here. We're going to have our subject and the full form of the verb to have. For the negative, to write this up, we say no, I have not turns into haven't. So in this case, we will use a contraction. No, I haven't. No, you haven't. No, he. Oops. No, we haven't. No, they haven't. Okay? Now if we use he, she, or it, he, she, or it, we will use hasn't. Okay? So, have you ever visited Florida? Yes, I have. Or, no, I haven't. There are a few more irregular verbs that we have to add to our vocabulary. So, in addition to the ones we discussed before, we have the verb to do. So in the past participle, do turns to done. Forget turns to forgotten. Remember, for irregular verbs, it's all about memorization, okay? So this is just something that you're going to have to memorize, okay? Do, done, forget, forgotten, get, gotten, lose, lost, make, made, this one's interesting, read. The spelling is the same, but The pronunciation in the past participle is read. Read, read. We have, I'm running out of room here. We have take, turns to taken. And write turns into written. Okay? Thank you for tuning in. That is all.